Along here with Kimberly Wharton. I just want to say thank you for being a guest on my talk show.
You're welcome.
Now, for people who want to know what uncensored is, uncensored's my way of showing people that even with a learning disability, I can still overcome controversy and reach my goals in life. At the same time, turning myself into a perfect example for people out there, deaf, blind, or in a wheelchair, that you should never label yourself or have people label you. And you should prove to them you can still amount to something. And it's just about proving people wrong.
Absolutely. I think you really, there's not a need necessarily to prove other people wrong, but to prove yourself wrong.
I agree with you. Now, starting off as a half-hour, 45-minute conversation. You can say anything you want, curse if you want to. This is your time to do and say whatever you want.
All right, great.
So, starting off, I ask you the easy questions. What can you tell us about yourself?
What can I tell you about myself? There's too much. Gosh, do you want to narrow it down?
It's completely up to you. You can answer the question however you like.
Well, gosh, I am currently living in Austin, Texas. I do voiceovers. I'm also an actor. I'm actually currently a full-time yoga teacher as well. I'm not sure if you know that. I lived in Los Angeles for a little under 8 years. In New York City before that, a little under 8 years, working almost entirely as an actor and voiceover artist in LA.
Well, do you enjoy it?
No, that's a good start, I guess. Do I enjoy it? Is that what you asked?
Yes.
Absolutely. I mean, I wouldn't do it if I didn't enjoy it. I think you should only do the things in life that you're passionate about, that bring you joy and bring other people joy as a result of yours.
That's true. Now, when you were in college, were you study nerd, party animal? And when you were in high school, were you athletic? Did you work out, do sports?
I went to in college, I went to a conservatory. I went to the Boston Conservatory. And I was a musical theater major and a dance minor. And so there wasn't really much room to be a party animal. I was in school from, I think, 8 in the morning to 6:30 at night, and then I would work to put myself through school in the evenings, and then I did it every day for 4 years for the most part. And before that I went to a performing arts high school for 7 years, from 7th to 12th grade, and so kind of then I was never really a party animal, and I didn't have sports at my high school. We had acting and we had dance. So I never really got to play sports. I kind of wish I did, but I secretly always wanted to be a cheerleader, but I never got to do that.
Well, you actually bring up the next question I was going to ask you is, have you ever gotten the chance to do one of those human pyramids or non-human pyramid girl?
No, I never, because I was never a cheerleader, so it's hard to do a human pyramid by yourself.
Well, I always wanted to do one. I know I'm a loser. But if you're ever in New York, maybe we can hang out and do one.
Totally, I don't think you can actually make a pyramid with 2 people. I think by the law of math, you need a 3rd person.
True. Well, if you have a girlfriend who wants to tag along too. Just throwing it out there. Now, the next question I was going to ask you is, you said you do voiceovers, so what type of voiceovers do you do, and what got you into it?
I did some cartoon pilots in LA, and then I've done 2 feature films as the lead character out of Los Angeles. One actually it just came out on Netflix, and it's on sale at Target, called Mummy, You're a Zombie. Or, pardon me, Mummy, I'm a Zombie. So you can check that out. I play the lead character. So it's an animated feature. I play a 13-year-old girl. But so I've done that. I've done a lot of audiobooks, children's audiobooks. Out here I do video games, and I want to do more of that. Yeah, and I got into it basically in California because it was tricky at the time for me with a musical theater background to get into TV film. And I kept on kind of getting cues from the world around me that I should do voiceovers. I kept on running into people over and over again that said, your voice is great, you should do voiceovers. And after a while, you have to listen to what the world is bringing you. And so I got into classes, and I went to classes every Friday night for a very, very long time. And I eventually got an agent, and I started getting jobs, and it all went from there.
Hey, well, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, I'm going to ask you some hard-hitting questions.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Uncensored 120. I'm your host, Keith Andrew. Along here is the talented and beautiful Kimberly Wharton. I just want to say thank you for being a guest on my talk show once again. Now, for people who want to know why I took that sudden commercial break, because I was having phone difficulties. Now we're talking from computer to computer, so it's a little bit better. So, you know, that's for people wondering what the break was for. But I was going to ask you, how you got into acting, was there any preference of acting roles that you wanted to do, like video games, or did you want to be like a main star, secondary star?
When I first got into acting, I was really young, and my mom kind of pushed me into it. I did my first professional job when I was, I want to say 11. I worked at the one Union Theater in Birmingham, Alabama, where I'm from. So I kind of got into it then, and then I did my first, I just kind of was always an actor as a child and growing up. And I think, in New York City, I did a lot of musical theater, and I did lead characters, and that's what I love. That's what I love. I mean, it doesn't really matter as long as you're doing what you love to do, and do your best and make people think or feel or experience something. Then it doesn't really matter if you're the lead or what you are. You're there to do what you were given in this world to do.
That's true. And now you mentioned you do yoga, and are you you mentioned you're a teacher of yoga, right?
I'm a teacher, yeah.
Well, for example, and that's an idea off the show I would like to run past you, but do you have your own studio, and how many people do you teach in person, or is it more online?
I have a lot of private clients. I don't currently. I'm debating opening up a studio. I teach full time at a studio called Yoga. Out here in Austin, Texas, and it depends on the class. My classes can be up to about, around 30 people, maybe less, depending on the day, depending on the time.
Hey, well, it'd be a perfect time to do the human pyramid.
Yeah, it doesn't really classify as yoga, but maybe.
But the other reason I brought it up is if you're interested, maybe I can come in and talk to your class about what I'm doing, about my talk show. I'm always looking to get myself out there, but if you're interested in working together, I appreciate it.
Gotcha. Yeah, we can talk more about that after the interview, I suppose.
All right. Now, the next question, well, before I keep going on asking you questions, was there anything you want to ask me? This is your time, of course, so you can say anything you want, talk about whatever you want.
So do you do interviews like full time, or what do you do?
Well, for the most part, I have a secondary job. I almost quit yesterday because I got the store is so ass backwards that it's not even funny. They're completely disorganized, and it's kind of like, well, it's disorganized, but 4 other people know how to do it, and if you can't fall into it, I guess you need to go. And it's like, okay, fine. I was thinking after I said I got quit, I was like, well, I still have one more bill to pay, and I don't have I do my interviews, but I don't have it every single day. If I did, I wouldn't have cared. But I was like, well, I don't have interviews to do every single day. And I got into the habit of working every day, so it's kind of like, what am I supposed to do now? And it's kind of like, okay, I changed my mind. And it's like, oh, well, that's the second time he said that. And, if he stopped jerking me around, I would say I would be more than happy. Or I purposely said I had a conversation with one of my coworkers. And just I will get back to the question about the interviews in a minute. But being upfront with you, I purposely had a conversation with my coworker when the DM was was working on his computer. And DM is a district manager. And I said, I wanted to make a point, but I was actually talking to him, but I did it because I wanted him to hear it as well. When he's like, interlock, well, what the hell is an interlock? It's a sexual thing? Interlock is a something a guy and a girl, and it's, what the hell is an interlock? And then the other thing was, they wanted me to find a shirt, and they said, it's blah 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 on this side, and you have a big ass pile of everything mixed together. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, well, it's this and that. And I said, you know what? This is exactly why I want to quit. You're disorganized. You know I have a learning disability, but you treat me like crap. Like, how do you expect me to work in that condition, Why do you work
there in the first place? It doesn't sound like you like it very much.
Let's see, it's December. Back in October, I wanted to prove to the point because, I work with occupations, and occupations help people with learning disabilities get a job. And I said, well, I'm not completely useless. I want to prove to my parents that I was capable of getting a job on my own. And granted, they gave me the paperwork and said, okay, they're hiring if you want to pursue it. At the same time, my parents were, let them do it, that's their job. And I was like, well, I'm going to show you I'm capable of doing something. So I got in, I interviewed, I got the job. Oh, why did he get the job? We don't want you to work now. And it's like, you just got to mess up whatever you're getting. And long story about that I can tell you off the air. And I was like, well, I was just trying to prove a point. And now it's like, now it's saying I want to leave. It's like, well, why you want to leave? You were saying how what a big man you are, getting a job on your own, and now you're unhappy. You want to leave, and I don't know. To answer your question, why am I still there? I do need to pay off one more bill, but I got so used to getting into a routine that it would feel different not doing that. Like I said, if I had interviews every.
Oh, so go ahead.
No, it's fine. I'm sorry.
What would you be doing that would make you very happy, that you're really good at?
This for a perfect example.
Yeah.
I used to work over at the North Face, and I kind of been trying to get myself back over there. A long story about that, and because I know it's something about the merchandise, and because I've been there for 4 years, I know it, and that's what I feel comfortable doing. And I work at this store, I won't mention it by name, but they're talking about fashion, they're talking about,
sometimes you have to get out of your comfort level and take a risk and do what you're really passionate about.
I agree with you. And another thing that, one more little rant, and I promise I will shut up. They were saying, people go to school for fashion. Terrific. Go to a freaking fashion school and hire people who know anything about fashion. You're talking to someone that has a learning disability, and you tell me, this is how I learn. Okay, we're doing a one-on-one interview. This picks up and up and just show me. That's for I'm using for a perfect example. Say you pick up your keyboard. Here's the keyboard. This is how you got to use the keys and everything. Okay, I learned like that. Not here's a book. Go read it and then tell me what you learned. I can't learn like that. I learn hands-on, and the excuse was, and this is another reason I wanted to quit, was we don't know how to deal with people like you.
Well, maybe you need to be like in management and tell them how to teach.
No, that's management telling me.
I know, but why don't you be in management and say, no, this is how we need to teach the people who work with us this way, because not everybody learns the same way.
I did. And you know what they said?
What?
Good idea. Not gonna work for this company. It is what it is.
Well, maybe you'll change that.
Yeah, hopefully. I didn't mean to bitch to you. I apologize.
That's okay.
What about you? You ever worked in retail and did with retail bullshit?
I've dealt with a lot of really odd jobs in my time on this earth. I mean, I've had a lot of countless ridiculous jobs. I mean, when I was in college, there was a time where I literally had 5 jobs at one time, and I hated all of them, but I didn't pay the bills. But then I realized, life's too short. You got to do what you love, and when you do what you love, hopefully all will come. And if you don't like what you're doing, nobody's gonna like you doing it.
Yeah, my parents say it's like, oh, it's Christmas season. After Christmas season, they're gonna cut your hours. That I was supposed to work yesterday, but to cut my hours. But at the same time, it's like, did they really cut my hours, or was it because I said I was putting my 2 weeks in, and they wanted to give me a day to think about it? So I thought that was kind of weird. But then it's kind of like you said, if you're unhappy doing it, why are you here?
Yeah. I mean, you gotta do what drives you, what excites you every day.
Now, to answer your question without getting all sidetracked, I like to invest. I don't mean to keep rambling on, and I apologize.
It's okay.
But I worked in a number store for 8 years. I got sick because they didn't like the fact that I had a learning disability. They hired me knowing the fact that I had a learning disability. Corporate says this kid's a liability, and now he has occupations with him, an outside organization looking in on us. It's not working. We have to get rid of him any means necessary. So pretend you're this girl that you working there, and they told you, oh, we're gonna make you a manager and give you a raise if you help me get rid of Keith. And you're like, okay. How we're talking now? We're all both buddies and everything. And you were running back. Oh, Keith is doing this. Keith is stalking me. Keith is giving me a hard time. I would get yelled at. I would go on the sales floor. You would be right there. Oh, we're just fucking with you. We're having fun with you. We're just playing a game with you. And this went on from March, April to about maybe like September, and it was getting more and more intense. And October I resigned, but at that point I spent more time in the bathroom throwing up. I was having uncontrollable panic attacks. I was a wreck. And I even when I was growing up, I had anxiety and mini panic attacks, but it wasn't anything. Just imagine me just worse. And it took me a year and a half to recover. Back in 2008. 2009, I got the opportunity to go to West Point to be trained. They were having classes before people who want to be a custodian. So I went. I took 6-week classes. That was February to March, and I'm now certified as a New York State employee to work anywhere in New York State as a custodian. I have not degree, but a certificate saying I'm now certified. And I was like, well, I don't want to work in retail. Well, how can I do something that I'm passionate about, like you were saying? And I said, okay, well, I'm gonna prove people wrong. And I should have been doing this in 2010. My mistake was I said, okay, create my own network. I took videos from Dumbo, Jumble Book, the DC, Marvel, and I did a lot of what ifs, a lot of fan-made parodies or tribute videos. That's great, but how is it different from what I'm doing? You're doing the same thing. Just using you for an example. You're doing the same thing. How can you make it different? And 2 years went by, and one day in 2013, I was like, fuck it. What am I doing wrong? My brother's doing his own thing, and writing books and doing everything, and knock on wood, good for him. And my sister's writing books, and yeah, I don't want to be miserable. I don't want to work in retail. I'm using my 2 siblings as inspiration, and saying, how can I do that and prove to people that I'm not a waste of space? And I said one day, fuck it. For the longest time, I was using my learning disability as a crutch. Can't go to college, can't do this, can't do that. So I was like, screw it, I'm going to do something to amount to something. I created my own talk show. In a year and a half, I interviewed 72 people. And my mistake was it was all phone conversations. Yeah. Don't ask me why, that was a stupid thing on my part. But it was just audio, and I got 72, and saying, why don't you have sponsors, why don't you have this and that, So a year and a half later, that's where we are now, I came up with doing this video interview. And thanks to you, I'm up to 120. Still looking for a sponsor and everything. I thought I had a sponsor, Life of a Fighter, but, that fell through. But without going on my real rant, this is your time, and I would like to hear more about you. That's my story.
Huh.
Now, you mentioned you did audiobooks. Would you be interested in a job of being my narrator?
For what? Did you write something?
Yes and no. I mentioned back in 2010, I wrote a book, and it was called "When You Overcome Controversy, Dreams Do Come True, Even If You Have a Learning Disability." I wanted a book like, hang on, I'll give you an example. When I said I wanted a book, I wanted something like this, a book. Unfortunately, I didn't get that. I got something like this, like a magazine, and that's like, what the hell is this? This is not a book, it's a freaking catalog. So, and besides that, there was a lot of spelling errors in there. You're gonna take a kick out of this. Instead of saying I was born, I said I was born on January 24th. Instead of that, it says I rised on January 24th, or...
Say that again, your video cut out.
No, it said I was born.
Uh-huh.
It said I rised. And the other one says I talked about my mom saying how she went to community college, and they changed it to comedy college. It's like, if you wanted it to be, the book to be like a giant joke, I guess I could have went with it, but I started to do it over to answer the question. And I was thinking, why am I writing it when people are going to say, I don't have time to read something like this? And I was talking to, mentioning to you and a couple other people, hey, how about doing an audiobook? And it's like, why don't you do it? Well, if you can hear me, I don't have the best voice because I hesitate, and I don't think it would be good. But I would love to work with you if you can give me ideas, or if you want to do it, or do chapter by chapter. Have you done audiobooks before, and what books have you done?
I've done kids audiobooks. I actually, if you go to any public library, there's a thing on the wall in the kids section called Peek-a-Book, and it's kind of like those old tower record things we put on the earphones. You get to hear a snippet of it, and I've done probably hundreds of snippets of children's books.
Oh, like on cassettes, right?
What was that?
Oh, like on cassettes?
No, they're actually, you punch a button on the wall, and kids can actually hear it before they check out the book.
Oh, that's pretty cool. When I was younger, they had like a cassette thing you used to put on, and...
Oh, yeah.
Now, the next question I was going to ask you, what motivated you to become an actress, and what are your passions behind singing? What made you pursue that?
I just always was an actor, and like I said, I was kind of Initially, I was forced into it, and I didn't know if I really wanted to do it, but I just did, and I always used to sing in my bedroom growing up, and that was I was very, very shy, but I would go in my room and I would sing, and that's kind of how I would emote, I guess you would say. And so I just kind of always had to sing.
That's pretty cool. Well, what's what type of genre do you sing to, or what is your preference?
I did musical theater, so I prefer show tunes. But I also like pop. There's nothing wrong with that. But jazz is great. Kind of sing anything I can sing.
Well, if you're interested, I'm trying to find a theme song to my show. If you're interested, I'd love to work with you on that. I tried a couple other things. Like season 1, I borrowed the theme song to TNA Wrestling, Adrenaline Rush. Then I tried, it's Adrenaline Rush. No, it's like that whole rap thing. It's like, it was good for the first 10 episodes. Okay, now it's getting irritating.
Yeah.
And then it's like, and I couldn't continue to use it because it was copyrighted. And I found other music that I liked, but at the same time, it was, I wanted to use there's a group called Underground, and there's a song called Cross Nation, and there was a Nickelback, Burn It to the Ground. Those songs are good, and it fits the video. Unfortunately, I don't know how to get permission to use that. So
just need to get permission.
Right. So I've been trying to create my own music, but it's kind of like it's a full big hassle. But if you're interested, that should be something fun to work together on.
Maybe it's not a big hassle to get your own music. For a theme song, you just gotta fiddle around and find something catchy and use jazz hands.
That's true. Now, is there anything that motivates you in life? You mentioned that you do yoga. Do you think that helped you turn your life around, or do you think it gives you an inspiration to expand your horizon?
I don't know if I would say it turned my life around. It definitely shifted it. I think it opened my eyes, and it made me probably become a better person. And now I really like it, and I like helping people that way. And I never really thought I would necessarily be doing this like when I was in New York. But yeah, I think it shifted me to become a better person, or a better version of myself.
Now, the last question I was going to ask you is, for listeners who are noticing every time I do this, I'd never asked this, so now I'm going to. You ever been to New York? And I'm live from New York, and you're live from Texas. And that's a great apartment, by the way. I was admiring your bookshelf.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I'm not showing you very much of it, but thank you.
Now, what's the difference between the lifestyle from Texas and New York, if you had to compare the two?
It's really different. I lived in Manhattan for a while. Actually, I lived in Queens for most of my time here, and I lived in Manhattan the last couple of years of my time in New York City. It's very, very different. And I think, I lived in LA after that. I think I just really needed to slow down. And in Texas, especially Austin, it's super chill, and people are, not to say they're not authentic. In New York they are, but people just here are really chill, and the lifestyle is easier. There's not a push. I'm not to say there's not a drive to accomplish things that you want to accomplish, but it's just easier, and it's people support each other, and I just like the lifestyle here. It's easy, and it's fun, and it's a beautiful place. And there's, it's a live music capital of the States, I believe. So it's a great place to live, especially if you like live music, which I do.
Now, wrapping up, do you have anything you want to ask me, or do you have any funny stories you'd like to share?
No, I guess I'll skip it. I have a plethora of funny stories, but not at this moment, I guess.
All right. Well, what about most embarrassing moments that you did, or stupid things that you happened to done, but it's now funny now? If that helps.
No, I don't get really embarrassed by things. And I think when things happen, I kind of notice the humor in them immediately, because I do stupid things all the time. And maybe a little bit after the fact, I realize that they're hysterical, but I do stupid things all the time, and I'm owning that, so.
Well, I give you a perfect example of something stupid I did. I was working on the sales floor. It is a Crocodile Dundee guy. A normal guy came in. It was a Crocodile Dundee hat, cowboy hat. But he looked like he was from Crocodile Dundee. So he's like, "Hey mate, I'm here to return this jacket." Okay. "Hey manager, we have a return." "Okay. It will be a couple minutes." "What's wrong with the jacket?" "Oh, the zipper's broken." "Okay." I looked at it and it said, "Okay." I made the mistake of saying, "Do you know how this happened? Or do you know how it broke?" And he just went off as like, "Are you accusing me of breaking the jacket? I don't like how you're being wise to me." Or like, "Are you being wise to me, boy?" And it's just on and on. I was like, you know what? I heard at the show time, this other guy recognized him. Said, "Hey man, what's going on? Blah blah blah." And "Yeah, you know him?" "Yeah, I showed him the jacket." "Okay." And he looked at me and was giving me an evil look and said, "Look, I didn't mean any disrespect. I wasn't being a wise ass to you. I don't do my job asking you a question." "Yeah, well, you're being wise to me." And it's kind of, you know what? I just got up and walked away, and I don't know, there's stupid things in retail, and it's kind of like, you get what you get.
Well, there's also something to be said about, choosing your words wisely. Because sometimes, people misconstrue things. I'm not choosing my words very wisely. But sometimes people misconstrue what your point is, and sometimes it's helpful to really choose your words wisely before, if you're dealing with people, especially people that, I don't know.
That's true. Now, wrapping up, do you have anything you want to say to your fans and listeners out there?
Hey! That's all.
All right.